So this here is the latest generation Toyota Land Cruiser Prado 250. I'm not going to mess around. I think this thing is absolutely epic. So this particular vehicle is a adventure spec 7-seater. So you get basically the cool Toyota emblem along the front, blacked out trim as far as I understand, and black badging on the back. You also get the rear diff lock, the front stabilizer disconnect thing. You get all the off-road drive modes and basically everything you need to go off-road. I think it's pretty cool. If I was to buy one, I would get the white roof though. I think that just makes it look that little bit better. Toyota have thrown me the keys to this Prado for the week. So I thought, what better way to test it out than to take it on a super chill Overland NZ style day trip. Obviously this isn't my car, so I cannot absolutely thrash it off-road, but I thought it'd be cool to see how it goes in its completely factory form on the sort of trips that I love to do. Let's hit the road, and see what this can do. I think it's gonna be pretty good fun. This trip kicks off on Hokio Beach, about an hour north of Wellington. So my quick little tip for driving crossings like that on the beach, go far enough up that you're 100% in fresh water. You can only just kind of dip a little bit with your fingers, sniff it. Obviously if it smells like the sea, it's the sea. In that case, that was fresh water all the way. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys here. The moment I saw these announced, I wanted one. I think they look awesome, and I've got a bit of a habit of buying cars based on my heart, not my head, and this would be one of them. Like, it's compromised in a few ways, mostly the rear seats in the boot, but I just don't care. You buy the 5-seater and that's 99% of the problem solved. On your way up the beach, keep an eye out for the Hyderabad shipwreck. It crashed in 1878 and there's not really a heap of it left, but it's still cool to pop in and see it. The short drive up Hokio Beach done and dusted, it was time to head up to the Mangaho power station. So while I'm eating my lunch here, let's touch on, I guess, the most controversial part of this car, and that would be this boot setup. And I've got to be honest, I kind of agree with the reviewers on the 7-seat version of this car. As you can see, this is quite high and this is your boot floor. So you've got kind of a storage tub here, and then you've got the 2 seats in the 3rd row. You lose a heap of height, and that basically has been packaged like this, as there's the hybrid battery underneath here somewhere. However, and this is where I don't really understand the hullabaloo about this, you can get a 5-seat version of this car now, which is great. This thing is lower, and there are a bunch of companies working on basically false floors where you can take whatever this comes with out and put a proper floor in. So I get that this is not ideal. It seems like a little bit of a non-issue, but I do understand why people are a little bit frustrated with it. One little thing I do really like in the boot here are these 2 little LED lights. They kind of light up around here, and I think if you're out camping, it'd be pretty handy just having some built-in lights. I assume they turn off after 15 minutes or whatever sort of standard Toyota thing is, but either way, you can kind of see what you're doing in the dark. Little touches like that, pretty cool. With lunch done and dusted, it was time to head up into the hills around the Mangaho Dam system. Nestled in the hills above Shannon, the power station provides power to quite a few houses in the area. While it had been smoothened out a little bit since I was last here, I wanted to test out the Prado on this flexi thing. I wanted to see how the wheel articulation went and how the breakover angle went. I'm aware this is not a particularly hard challenge, but it was a good test of a completely factory vehicle just to see how it handled it. With the front sway bar connected, we did lift the front wheel ever so slightly, but no worries, the back flex is awesome and easily made up for it. So in the engine bay here, we've got Toyota's 4-cylinder 2.8 turbo diesel, the 1GD FTV, and the 150 kilowatt, 500 Newton meter spec with the 48 volt mild hybrid. Now I have got basically the same engine in my Fortuner minus the mild hybrid stuff, and it's an awesome engine. It gets up and goes, it's got torque most of the way through the rev range, and it just does what it says on the tin real well. Yeah, it's only a 4-cylinder, it's never gonna like win any awards for sound or anything, but I don't need it to. Like, all I need it to do is get me from A to B reliably. These motors have got pretty good rep for it, and I've got no reason to believe that this will be any different. This has also got the new 8-speed gearbox, and I think that makes a big difference. Probably crossed with the mild hybrid. Like, this thing for a 2.5 ton car with 150 kilowatts gets up and goes. Like, I've watched a bunch of reviews on these, and anyone would think that they'd fitted like a little 2-litre non-turbo diesel to this. Like, people seem to be moaning about the motor. I really don't understand it. Like, look at it. It's a box on wheels. It is not meant to be fast. And like, once you chuck it into power mode, it'll get up and go. It's got tow mode, so if you are towing a heavy thing, apparently it makes quite a difference. And then like, once you chuck it into low range, it makes no difference anyway. Like, I've driven cars with 90 horsepower off-road, and they're just as fun as, you know, these sorts of things with a heap more power. So I really like it. I really do. I'm a big fan of this motor, and I don't really understand the controversy around putting the 4-cylinder into this. Like, Prado has always been a 4-cylinder turbo diesel, right the way back to 1990, the first 70 series with the 2.4 came out. Always has been, and I mean, this, I think anyway, works fine for what this car is. I guess one other, it's not really a negative, this is just the reality of life these days. And something I've been, I guess, avoiding this entire video. Cost. This car, as you guys see it now, is $100,000. There's no two ways around that. It's a lot of money. Do I think it's worth it? Well, that all depends on who you are and what you're going to use it for. You can get the GXL, that is about 83 if I remember correctly, but that doesn't come with the front stabilizer disconnect and the rear diff lock if I recall correctly. There's probably some other differences too. And you can also get the one with the white roof, which I think looks mint, and that is another $1,000 over this. I say it's a negative, like, you know, you can buy a 76 series Land Cruiser for 92 grand, whatever they are, drive away. Same engine, very similar gearbox. This is 10 grand more, and you get a lot more car for your money. This, at 100k, I'm not gonna say it's cheap, because it's not. I do, however, think that it is reasonable value based on having lived with it now for a week. And here we are at the top dam. It is full today. I don't think I've ever seen it that high up on the dam wall there. It's not often you see it this full. Back in the old days, you used to be able to drive here. It's been gated off now, but also it's completely underwater. I've been right out to those trees just on the left there. Places like this are pretty cool if you're a bit of a infrastructure nerd like I am. You're able to walk over the entire dam and get some really cool views. Obviously I haven't really tested the capabilities of this car. This is just a gravel road, and this is more than capable of tackling that. In saying that though, it is so comfortable, and I looked down a few times and realized I was doing 60 k's an hour, which is the speed limit, but you don't really notice it. It's so comfortable and so soft. So yeah, need to punch out of here now, head back towards the coast and back towards home. And I guess give you guys a bit of a wrap up. I'm going to ponder this as we're driving out of here and see if I can come up with some points on this car of my thoughts of it so far. Let's roll. The Land Cruiser Prado 250. So we've had this thing for very nearly 2 weeks and very nearly 1,000 kilometers now. I've taken it off-road from obviously the beach up into the hills. I did a quick run out to Red Rocks, though I wasn't quite brave enough to take it over Devil's Gate. Like, it's not my car, I don't want to damage it. And we've just used it as our vehicle for the last 2 weeks, and I've got a few thoughts on it. So, the wrap up to this video. I'm biased when it comes to this car. So the second these were announced, I wanted one. When Toyota handed me the keys to this, I was amped, and I still am. I think this is one of the coolest looking four-wheel drives to come out in a long time. I love that they've gone back to the boxy shape. I know that when I sort of first saw these, I thought it looked like a Defender, like one of the new ones. It really doesn't in person. And with this color especially, like, I don't think the camera does this color justice. It looks amazing in person. And I think like this styling is awesome. The inside matches, like it's all kind of boxy and big and you feel quite cocooned in there. You know, it's got a low raked windscreen and I think it looks cool. So this car is not perfect, but that is what excites me the most about it. I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. If I were to buy one of these, I'd want to build it into a family overland touring rig for New Zealand. So that comes with a very small list of requirements, to be honest, but probably be my favorite part of it all, in that I'll be modifying it. So the things that are not so perfect about this, and I'll jump into them in a second, are all easily fixed, and all things that to me at least just don't matter. Like, I've watched a bunch of reviews on these, I've scrolled through the Facebook group for these, and there's a lot of common complaints, and I don't really understand it, in that none of them are that hard to fix and none of them are really that serious. So yeah, to me this is perfect. This is an awesome base to build a family touring rig off of. So I guess the big question is, would I buy one? Yeah, absolutely. So I've been thinking about this a lot, as you can probably imagine. I'm really tempted. I would buy the 7-seat one because I just don't care about that boot problem. It's easily fixed, and you know, Prados hold their value well, so whether it's worth secondhand or not, I don't know. We'll find that out later. But to me, this is an awesome platform to build the next Overland NZ rig off of. So the three, I guess, really big things that appeal to me about this car. Number one is it is safe. So this is obviously a brand new vehicle. It's got all the safety kit that you want in it. Most of it's not too annoying. Like the lane keep assist thing is a little bit, but you can flick that off. But yeah, I've got 2 young kids and their safety is the most important thing to me. And I guess, you know, we do big Ks with them, and I do big Ks solo in these cars each year, and I want to be able to get home to them at the end of a trip if anything happens. Yeah, I know it's kind of a weird, boring thing, but to me that is vital when it comes to picking a vehicle that I'm going to do, you know, 20,000 Ks in a year. Number two, the mod ability of these things. Like, once the aftermarket really gets going on these, and they're close, like, because these are available in the US and in Australia, the aftermarket support for this generation of Prado is going to be amazing. There's some epic builds already underway, like I'll chuck a few up on screen now, and like, how cool are they? There's going to be so much customization and so much personalization that you'll be able to do with one of these, and I think that's cool. And number three is the off-road ability. Like, for what I use my modern four-wheel drives for, this thing is going to be more capable than the places I'm willing to take an expensive car. It is a really capable vehicle. Chuck some better tires on it, and I mean, you've got something with a diff lock, front stabilization bar disconnect, center diff lock, traction control, low range. Like, it's all in there as a vehicle with potential. Like, that is what excites me the most. It ticks the three things that I want. It's also comfortable. I'm sure it will be reliable. Like that 48 volt system, weirdly, I don't think it saves any fuel day-to-day use. I really don't. But for someone like me who's in and out of the car constantly, I do a lot of idling. So, you know, I'll park up, slam it into park, jump out of the car with the camera, run up ahead, set up the camera, come back, jump back in the car, drive, jump out of the car, go get the camera. Like, it's a lot of faffing around. When I was filming with this the other day, you'd chuck it into park and it would just turn the motor off, but keep everything else running. So stuff would keep charging, the AC would stay on and keep the interior nice. I'm going to quickly run through my negatives on this, for the lack of a better word. There's only a couple, but they're there. I'm not going to deny that. These side steps, they hang low, they are plastic, and I can imagine you would smash them up pretty quickly. And underneath, there are a few things that hang down kind of below the chassis rails. It's a little bit odd for a four-wheel drive car. I thought everything would be tucked up high. It has bash plates and things, but I was looking underneath the Fortuner and this the other day, and like Fortuner has got everything other than the fuel tank bash guard up in the chassis rails. This doesn't, so that's kind of strange. That one is harder to fix, but it is what it is, I guess. And that boot situation is terrible. It looks like such an afterthought. I don't know how they got through. There's a lot of potential here, a huge amount of potential, and like, if I was to buy one, basically 33s, maybe 34s if I'm feeling silly. 2-inch lift, put on probably some sort of roof rack, 10th on top, nice tires. I really want one of those off-road animal bull bars. I think they look incredible on this, and rip those seats out of the boot and basically do a complete fit out. So yeah, hopefully this is kind of a different take than most reviews on this car. Like, most of them are looking at it from a car point of view. I'm looking at it from an overland point of view. They're quite different things. As a car, this is a little bit compromised. As a platform, as an overland vehicle, I'm struggling to think of a better car. I know I've got a bit of bias. I do love this. I don't really like the Land Cruiser 300 that much. I think it looks a bit odd. To me, this is a much better looking car. Like, the boxy shape and stuff is just cool. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, would you buy one of these? Would you modify one of these? Or, like, I know it's a lot of money, but is it just too much modern for the stuff that you want to do? As I said, this is not a mud bashing, rock crawling machine. This is a family touring rig, and they're quite different things. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time on Overland NZ.